So, someone on Instagram asked me a question, and it was a question I'd never been asked before, so I couldn't answer right away. And I thought I would go for a walk in the park and ramble about it a little bit, and then edit out all the parts that suck, and what's left will be my answer. It's a filming experiment. So, the question was, how do you stay motivated to keep writing? And I remember when I started blogging, one of my fears was that I would run out of things to say. There are times when it feels like the well has run dry, and I don't so much anymore, but I did for a long time feel fear when that happened. Like I had run out of things to say and would never come back from it. That I was done. I was out of things to say. That I just have to write. And I wasn't always like that. Right about when I hit 30, I just suddenly started writing. I mean, I had vaguely written before, but not really. The thing is, though, I hadn't been doing it consciously. I hadn't been actually thinking of myself as a writer or working on my writing. I just wrote all the time because I had so much I wanted to say. And because it's so hard for me to say it, speaking, just in conversation, I was just writing all the time because it's easier than speaking, says the guy making video logs. So often when I speak well, it's because I've written everything out first. It's all laid out for me, like a suit of clothes waiting for you to put them on in the morning. So that's what motivates me to write. That's not what motivates me to blog. And I think that was the fuller question. I think the implied question was, what motivates you to keep blogging and or getting published, self-publishing, putting your words out there. That's the thing. Writing is something I just can't stop. It's what I do. Whether I have words out in the world or not, I'm always writing. Putting my words out there. It gets easier over time, but it's, especially in the beginning, it can be pretty scary. But when I started autism blogging, that was a new learning curve. Because the particular plot of ground I staked myself out on when I started writing about being autistic, that piece of ground being the notion that human beings are inherently worthy, and disabled people don't have to be Einstein to prove they have a right to exist or a place at the table with appropriate accommodations and social dignity. Every life matters, every voice matters. If the therapy you're doing to an autistic person is not something you would do to a non-autistic person, then don't. You know, that's my piece of ground, and there are some people who are deeply angered by this position. But the thing is, if you're going to blog about autism, there really is no position where you're not going to get attacked by somebody, because passions run so high on all sides of the conversation that eventually somebody's going to come yell at you. I've been yelled at across the full spectrum of neurologies, political ideologies. There's somebody's going to hate you for what you do, no matter what it is. And that was what nearly had me stop blogging a couple of times. I would just get so burned out on the anger and the hatred and the cruelty, the attacking, the yelling, the blaming and accusing, name-calling. So why do I keep getting things published and publishing my own words on the topic of autism when it's so hard? You know, I think that's the question. What do you do when it gets hard? Because it will. I will always be trying to find my place in the world of people. My life is good. I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to what's to come. I keep sharing my writing because it keeps feeling important to do so. Sometimes it doesn't feel very important because it's something I've said a bunch of times, and there are 30 or 40 other people out there saying the same thing, and you know, I get that feeling like my voice isn't really needed. What do I have to contribute? I think that's probably something a lot of people experience. But the truth is that no one can tell your story. You and I might write about the same thing, but when we're each making it our story, we're writing two very different things that are both important views. The more people write about even the basic issues of living autistic, the more rounded and dimensional the world's view is going to become. So, put simply, my voice matters because every voice matters. My voice is never unnecessary. Your voice is never unnecessary. Even if you feel like everything has already been said, if you write your passion and you climb inside your words, you will create something that needed to be created. And you will realize that it needed to be created, and it needs to be seen, and you should put it someplace. Whether that means sending it to an anthology or putting it in your blog or whatever. And keep writing, keep moving forward the whole time. Write every day, almost every day. I don't write every day. I take the weekends off, which means sometimes I end up writing on the weekends anyway because I just really wanted to or needed to. But I have permission to not write if I don't feel it. But every weekday, set yourself a word count. One that you know you can reach easily. You know, it doesn't have to be some massive Max Brand. You know, Max Brand was that guy that wrote like 20 books a year or something. He's an amazing guy, look him up. Hemingway wrote 1 page a day. And if by 1 page that means, you know, your standard manuscript typed page, that's 250 words. That's 250 words. Can you write 250 words every day? I bet you can. But yeah, find a number. You know, it might not be 250. It might be 100. It might be 1,000. Find a number that works for you. And make a discipline of it. And do it every day. And you're not always going to I have so many things that I've set aside half finished. You're not always going to like where it's going. But do it every day, because that's how you get better, and that's how you stay motivated to keep publishing it, because you see it getting better, and you start feeling more and more connected with what you're writing, and you want to get it out there. When you really start producing a volume of writing. And for most people, the only way to do that is to make an actual discipline of it. You have to do it. And, I mean, you can write more, but make it a point of honor to get your minimum words in every day. It's as important as meditation and brushing your teeth. It's what holds the universe together. Get those words out. So yeah, kind of how I stay motivated to keep writing and putting my writing out there is to keep writing and keep putting my writing out there. It kind of feeds on itself, you know? I think I'm going to end the video here at the koi pond. Because I've pretty much said everything I feel like saying today. There.